Hello guys, welcome back. In the last lecture, we worked on using factory gem, and in this lecture, we will write the feature spec for stimulating the user search by country and city name. Okay, so here you can see that what we have on the browser right now, that I'm signing with a user, and here you can see that this is the search bar where we can provide country or city name, and then when I click on the search button, I can see the selected users. For example, let me type here the India. Okay. And if I go to search on this, then I will see all the users where the India is included either as country name or city name. Okay. And we will write the stimulation spec for this year. Okay. So first go to the terminal and generate a new feature spec and name it as user search. So go to the terminal and open a new terminal window. And here what we need to do that Rails G R spec feature and then your spec name, that is, let's say, user search. Okay, and when you run this command, it will create a new user search spec for you. So switch to the project directory and open this search spec from the spec features directory. Here you can see that this is the user search spec, and now you need to remove the pending example line here. Okay, because we will add our own examples here. And in this spec, first create an example group by using describe keyword. So what we can do here, describe, and then provide a example group title, let's say user search functionality, user search functionality do, and this describe block. Okay, now we need to add the before block, but before adding the before block, let me tell you that what is this and why we use that. So in our spec, the before block is a feature that helps you to set up the necessary context or state for your test example. It allows you to define code that should be executed before each example in a specific context, I mean within an example group, or before all examples within a test suite. Okay, and by using before blocks, you can ensure that your test examples start with a consistent and controlled state, which promotes more reliable and isolated test. It also helps you in reducing the code duplication, since you can put the common setup code in the before block instead of repeating it in each test example. Okay, so just like the shared examples, you can use before blocks as well to refactor the test cases. Now let me tell you that why we are adding this before block in our spec. Since in our application, the user needs to log in before performing any operation, and to stimulate the search operation, we need some user records present for all examples. That's why we will create them in before block and we will use them in all our example. Okay, so I hope you got the idea behind the requirement of the before block. So let's add this in our spec. Okay, so here within this describe block, what you need to do, before, and then mention each here, and do and end. What this before each will do, that it will include all the setup things whatever you write in this before block for before executing every example. Okay, and first we need to create a user using factory, and we will use this user to log in into the system. Okay, so what we can do here, at the rate user equal to create user. Okay, and then use the sign in helper, sign in at the rate user. Okay, now we need to create some dummy users using factory, but provide country and city name manually here, because if you do not provide country and city name here, faker will generate any random country or city name for the users, and we will get issues by filtering them in the search box. Okay, so let's create users. So what we can do here, let's say we can create at that user one equal to create user. Okay, and then country, let's say for first user, let's provide India, and then provide city. Okay, and here we can use Indore. Okay, and now copy the same line and paste it 3 to 4 times, and here we can use, let's say, at the rate user 2, and provide the country as Australia. Okay, and add the city name as, let's say, Sydney. Okay, and for user, let's make this user as user 3 and this is user 4, and now change the countries and cities here. So let's say England, and then London, and here let's say USA, and city let's say New York. Okay, and then add the sleep statement here so that we can see all specs stimulating the user search with some time delay. Okay, so sleep by 1. Okay, and that's all for your before block. Now we have all the user data that will be available for all spec example, and we set up the user login functionality as well. Now let's define another example group where we will stimulate search operation only by country for the user. Okay, I mean in this example group we will stimulate searching users only with country value. Okay, so what we can do here, after the before block, add new describe block, describe, and here you can add search by country, search by country, do, and end this block. Now we need to write our first example to search with complete country name. Okay, and when you provide a complete country name, the search result must include all the users matching the same country name. Okay, so let's write the example for searching with country India. Okay, so what we can do here in this example group, add the example as it should allow users to search, it should allow users to search other users by complete country name. Okay, and add the do block here. Now what we need to do as a first thing, first we need to visit the root path, visit root path, and then we need to fill some value within the search box, and we need id of that attribute or that selector. So here you can see on the root path and inspect this search input field, and here you can see what is the id. This field has id, q, city, or country count. Okay, so just copy this id name here, and here we need to fill in, provide this id with whatever country name as full you want to provide. Let's say provide India here. Okay, and then we need to use click button search. Here you can see that we have the click button search, and this is the button, submit button. Okay, and this has the text search, so we are using click button search. Okay, and now we need, and once the user find as country name India, then we need to verify some text to be present on the company, like it should have only the username and profile title and country which belongs to India. Okay, so expect page dot to have text, sorry, and here what we can provide at the rate user one dot name. Okay, and why I'm using at the rate user one here, you can see that at the rate user one has the country India. Okay, and not at the rate user 2 3 4. We are not sure about the at the rate user here because we just created user by, and it will use the country and city provided by Fakerjam. Okay, and now we need to copy the same line and we need to use it for to have text at the rate user one dot profile title, and then here country. Okay, and why I'm expecting this, let me show you on the home page. So here you can see that whenever a user appears in the search result, you can see what we are showing, username. Okay, and then user profile title, and then it is the user country. Okay, and we can also expect some text not to be present, like here you can see that I'm searching with the full country name, so user 2, user 3, and user 4 do not have the country name as India, so they should not be present in the search result. Okay, so what we can do here, you can just copy these things here. So let's do this line, and here we can have to not have text at the rate user 2 dot country, and then copy this line again and use it for user 3 and 4 as well. Okay, and here to not have text user 3 dot country, user 4 dot country. Okay, now this is the first example that has been completed. Now let's write another example to search with partial country name, I mean provide the half country name. And when you provide a partial country name, the search result must include all the users matching the same partial country name. Okay, so what we can do, we can just copy this example, and here we will allow user to search other users by partial country name. Okay, and then we can provide values like AUS, for example, and here you can see that only the user 2 has country as AUS. A partial country name is AUS, not the user 1 at that user 1 at that user 3 and at that user 4. Okay, so what we need to do now, that here we will expect the user 2. So let's provide user 2 here, 2. Okay, and then do not have text user 1, user 3, user 4. Okay, and similarly we need to write another example which will allow user to search with any random string, and if that random string present between the country or city name within any user, then it will search that. So here you can see, we will provide n to the search field, and here you can see that the the user 1 has the country India and Indore, a country India and city as Indore, and it has n as the character between both country and city. User 2 has n in the city. Okay, and user 3 has n in the city and country, and user 4 also has n in the city name. Okay, so what we will do, that we will write another example as it should allow users to search user with any random character from country name. Okay, so just copy this example again, and here what we will do, that it should allow users to search other users by random character in the country name. Okay, and here you can see what we will provide. Let's say we will provide n, or let's provide a here. Okay, and then click button search, and now we should have text for all users, like at the rate user2 dot name, at the rate user2 dot profile title. Okay, and you can skip this part, and similarly we can use for 1 3 4 as well. Okay, so now we can remove all these expect statements and place the new. Here what we can do, 1 1, sorry. Okay, and then copy it again and use it for 3 4 as well. And here what we need to do, use a 3 3 here, 4 and 4. Okay, save it, and that's it. This is all about searching user with their country name. Now let's replicate the same example with their city. So we need another example group for that, and you can copy the entire example group and examples in the describe block for searching user by country. Okay, so just minimize this and copy it. Okay, so you can just copy it, and we can paste it here, and here you can change the country by city, so search by city. Okay, and then you just need to change your attributes as well. So what we can do, it should allow users to search other users by complete city name, city, and here instead of Indore you can provide India, you can provide Indore. Okay, and then partial city name. So here instead of AUS, what you can provide SYD, I mean for Sydney. Okay, and then should allow users to search other users by their any random character in the country name. So you just need to replace here city name. Okay, so any random character in the city name. Okay, and here you can provide n, let's say, because all the users have n in the country. First let me close this. Okay, so here you can see Indore, Sydney, London and New York, all the cities has n in it. Okay, now we just need the same spec here. So it's save the file, and that's all about this user spec. But before running this spec, we need to make some fix in the rails helper.rb. As here you can see that we are using sign in helper method in the before block. Okay, and now open the rails helper.rb. So here you can see that what we did, that config dot include device test integration helpers for type request and controllers. Okay, so this will only work for the request specs and controller specs, but we implemented the user spec here. Okay, and we are using this sign in helper method within the not user spec, within the feature spec. Okay, so what we need to do here, that we just need to copy this line. Okay, and in the paste here, and in the pasted line we need to replace request by feature. Okay, now it will work, and it will execute our spec successfully. And if you do not do this configuration, then your spec will not work. Okay, so now save the entire spec, and if you wish you can open this as well. So save the entire spec and go to the terminal, and here what we need to do, bundle exec rspec feature, and then user spec. And when you run this spec, you will see that it will start stimulating the feature here, and you can see that it is searching all the users. Okay, so here you can see 6 examples, 0 failure. Okay, so what our purpose was for this lecture, that to stimulate the user search functionality by providing input into the search field, and then click on the search field and then find the users. Okay, and here you can see one thing, that since we have visit route path in all the actions, so you can cut the visit route path from all the examples, and you can also use this within the before block. Okay, so cut this visit route path, sorry, cut from here as well, cut this from here, and next two as well, visit route path. Okay, save this spec file, and now paste this spec file within the sleep one. Okay, and save it now. And now let's try to run the spec again to see whether this visit placing visit route path in the before each block is working or not. Okay, so here you can see that it is working fine. Now there is one more thing that you can do at yourself, and I did not edit that example intentionally in this video because I want you to try this. Otherwise you can follow the commit of mine on the GitHub. So, and I will include that GitHub commit URL in this in the description of this video, so you can go through there and you can match your work with that. So what you have to do, that since you can see that right now in the spec we are providing some valid values. Okay, so try to provide any random country name or city name that does not present in for any user. For example, let's provide XYZ. Okay, or let's provide 1 2 3 4 5 6. So no country name or city name has integer value, so try to search with that. And if you search with users with any invalid country or city name, then you will see zero search results. Okay, so in that case what you need to verify, that the page should not have any username on in the search result. Okay, so try this at lecture as I mean try this spec at your end. Okay, and meanwhile first try this spec at your end, and we will meet into the next lecture. Till then, tata, goodbye, take care, and stay safe.